to film this video weeks ago, but life, so I'm doing it now. I decided I'm going to do a Q&A video because I do get a lot of DMs, people ask me questions all the time about my artwork and stuff like that. So I thought I'd put it out there, get people to ask me some stuff. But for some reason, when I ask for people to send me questions, they go shy and nobody asks shit. Makes sense. But I did get a few anyway, so I'm going to answer those today. I'm recording on my phone, so I had to write them down. So bear with me while I read this out. My first question is, how did you get the art style that you have, and when did you start getting that style? So the funny thing is, for the longest time, I tried to develop my own style because I felt like I didn't have one. I would just draw portraits of people or things like that. And then I went through a really dark period where I was going through depression, and I sort of started to go to therapy and stuff. And I did this one drawing, if you guys remember, if you've been following me long enough, I did this drawing of a girl who had like her hands over her eyes, and like one eye was like peeking through her fingers, and it was black. She had moths. If you guys see moths in my drawing, it's definitely like symbolic because it definitely means something. I am scared of moths. That's my phobia. So if there's moths in my drawing, there's sort of like that fear factor in there somewhere. So she had moths and like these shadow things around her head. Ever since that drawing, my art changed. I started drawing the girls with the one eye and things like that. I have had like this dark side my whole life, but I hid it from people. I tried to fight it a lot. At some point, I sort of just made peace with it. I realized it's a part of me, and I just started channeling it into my artwork instead of trying to brush it off or push it aside and not be ashamed of it, I guess. So the girls that I draw definitely reflect how I'm feeling at that time or a certain period in my life, and the eyes definitely have meaning. So you'll notice usually they'll have one normal eye and one eye will be black or white, or they might not have any eyes or whatever. The white and the black also has meaning. If it's black, obviously I'm feeling really dark. I'm feeling a bit down. When it's white, it's like I still have the anxiety and the depression and things like that, but I'm at peace with it. I'm not, it's not like a bad day, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I definitely, I developed that style through my demons, I guess you can say. Yeah, it just sort of naturally happened. And I'm glad it did. I'm actually really happy with the art that I'm putting out lately. And yeah. Can you suggest any art how-to books to help improve my art, or any illustration books that you like that give you inspiration? To be honest, I don't really use how-to books or anything like that. I kind of just taught myself just by drawing every day, trying different ways of doing things. But I do every now and then watch like drawing tutorials or time-lapse videos and stuff like that by some of my favorite artists, and it does help. I do pick up a few things here and there, and then I sort of just take that and play around with it and teach myself. I think that's the best way to learn, is to just teach yourself things, find what you're comfortable with doing. But yeah, when I like tried painting and stuff, I would watch Happy D painting tutorials, and I'd pick up a few things from her that I felt I was a bit stuck on. But yeah, just drawing every day, trying new things. Yeah, just finding what works for you. It's art. I mean, there's not really a right or a wrong way to do things. Whatever you do that produces the vision that you have, it's not wrong. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Look, he would probably chuck what a woodchuck could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. I do have a question for you though, Richard, if that is your real name. I know it is because I've grown up with you my whole life. If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch? Let me know. Are you dating? No. How does it feel when your art is recognized? It feels really good. I mean, when you, like, especially when I draw somebody like a celebrity or whatever, and they acknowledge it, it feels amazing because you've spent all this time and effort and stuff in producing this piece for them to actually like it or reshare it or whatever. It feels amazing. But the bottom line is I do it because I enjoy it. So if they don't see it, it's not a big deal. But yeah, and I mean, I appreciate everyone that's ever shared my artwork, whether it's like a famous person or not. Like, anyone that shares my artwork, I truly appreciate it. It makes me feel great. This is my passion, and for people to like show me that they enjoy what I do or they really like what I do, it's a really good feeling. What is your all-time favorite piece and what medium do you like the best? This question actually came from my mum. Hi, Mum. My all-time favorite piece that I did is probably the two-pack piece, The Rose That Grew From Concrete. It was part of a competition through the Estate of Tupac on Instagram. They chose 20 of their favorite art pieces for like this online gallery thing, and mine was one of the ones chosen. It got a shit ton of likes and shares, and yeah, I'm really proud of that piece. Me, the idiot that I am, forgot to watermark it though, so a ton of people have shared that and have no idea that I am the one who did it. I will insert the piece here so you can see what I'm talking about. What's my favorite medium? I'd have to say grey lead, like it's the OG. I mean, I'm trying new things now, like I'm getting into clay and stuff. I'm starting to get more comfortable with colored pencils and painting, and I do enjoy those, but grey lead, I'm so comfortable with grey lead. It's like just an extension of my hand at this point. It just feels so natural. Definitely grey lead's my favorite medium. How do you get the ideas for your drawings? Life experiences, my real feelings, my raw emotions, things like that. Every drawing that I do of like those girls is a reflection of how I'm feeling either at that point in time or something from the past that I've like dug up to create the piece of art. But I will admit, like sometimes it's not that deep. Like I might see a quote that I like on Instagram, or I hear like a line in a song that I really like and I visualize a piece to go with it. But I mean, the reason I'm listening to that song or the reason why I like that quote is obviously because I relate to it in some way. So every one of my girl drawings definitely is a reflection of me some point in time, but I try and do it in a way where like it doesn't have to have the same meaning as it does to me to someone else. If you know me, you would probably understand a lot of my art. You know who was the inspiration behind it or what feelings were behind the concept of it. So yeah, definitely my inspiration for my drawings is how I feel, which I think that's what art's about, right? Are you more creative in certain moods, and do you think your down days bring out more creativity? Yes and yes. I'm definitely more creative when I'm feeling sad or depressed. Like I said, it's more natural to me. Like it's art to me is like therapeutic. It's like a release. So I definitely produce my best work when I'm feeling down. I do struggle. Sorry, I'm laughing because there's a bird out the window and it was like hanging off a twig by its beak. I have ADD. What was I saying? Will you ever do a collab with Travi? Look, there's a few YouTubers I would love to collab with one day. Travi is definitely one of them. It makes it hard, the fact that I'm on the other side of the world and I'm pretty much a nobody. So I don't know if he ever wanted to, for sure, why not? So Travi, if you're watching, what's good? Who is your biggest inspo in the art world? I have a few artists that I really like. I love Frida Kahlo. She's a badass. I don't know if you guys know like the full story of Frida Kahlo, but go and research her. She was amazing. There's a lot of similarities between us. I could definitely relate to her. But I mean, she's an amazing artist. So she definitely inspires me. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but I read somewhere that her lover, Diego, would cheat on her. So she would go and sleep with the women that he cheated on her with to get back at him. Like, that to me, that is the best thing to me. So yeah, Frida Kahlo. I love Glenn Arthur. I love Happy D. Who else? Jazza, Draw with Jazza. Hi. He's amazing. There's quite a few artists I like. Yeah, oh, Unreese, which is, I think I'm saying his name right, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but Monami Frost's husband, who is a tattoo artist, I love his style of work too, so he definitely influences me. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be and why? Look, I don't know. There's a few places like I want to travel, but I'm quite happy living in Australia. But like the kind of like area I'd want to live, I want to live somewhere that's like forest area in like this little cottage tiny house thing with like trees everywhere, and like I can string like fairy lights from the trees, and I can look through my telescope at night at the stars and stuff like that. But thinking about like if I was to live anywhere in the world, somewhere that's really like, I'm thinking like Scotland or something like that, or Ireland, because of all like the forest areas, the castles, things like that. I love that kind of thing. But yeah, look, I love Australia. I haven't been out of the country, so I can't really say, you know, but yeah, I mean, Australia's cool. At the end of the day, ... Because
at the end of the day, it's the end of the day.
And that's the end of this video. Thank you guys for sending me your questions. I did leave a few out. I'll probably do another one of these videos if you guys enjoy it. Give me a like so I know that you enjoyed this. This was fun. I hope I answered them all well enough. But yeah, I think that's it. And I'll see you guys really soon.